Tony Sibson was also told in his corner by Ken Squires, now don't lose interest, Tony.
It's hard to do when this guy is pounding me on the head. He's a
29-year-old Tony Sibson out of Leicester, England, comes in with a record of 55-6, 1 draw, 31 by knockout. This is the third time that he is fighting for a world championship. And Frank Tate, 23 years old, from Detroit, now living in Houston, 21-0, 12 by knockout. He comes off the impressive 15-round decision over Michael Elijah to win the IBF middleweight crown. That was back in October. Scoring is on the 10-point must system, handled by 3 judges: Torben Hansen of Denmark, Joe Pasquale of the United States, Dr. Clark Sammartino of the U.S. What does the fight doctor scorecard show?
I have it 38-38, although that last round, the IBF encourages liberal scoring, could easily have been a 10-8 round.
And now Tate with some nice combinations.
That seemed to wake up Tate to come back with a good punch of his own, but Sibson's punch was much more meaningful.
Sibson is a natural southpaw. He's been turned around to an orthodox stance, and his most effective punch is the left hook. He claims that he's now getting off punches quicker than in the past. Of course, that is his claim.
That's a patent impossibility. When it comes to age, you can get experience and your head can tell you what to do. But this fight, just as the Tyson Holmes fight showed you, youth and fast reflexes will be served.
Sibson had felt that after the loss to Marvin Hagler 5 years ago, he wasn't sparring enough and was not getting off the punches properly.
In that corner last time, Sibson asked, how's my eye? How's my eye? He's worried about that eye popping open.
Oh. From out of left field here at Bingley Hall, Tate tried to land with the overhand right. And this is round 6. Frank Tate was told in his corner by Jesse Reed, stop posing, pointing out that he is giving Sibson too much target practice.
I think that's good advice, but it didn't quite apply since Frank Tate won that fight, that round handily. His superior reflexes, his hand speed is controlling Tony Sibson.
We have not had any knockdowns. Tate did have Sibson in trouble in the 4th round after connecting with a right hand and then a combination. A chopping right missed by Tate.
Sibson back on the attack as he was in the first 2 rounds before he got walloped.
Crowd again chanting for the local favorite, Tony Sibson. Left hand by Sibson did clip Tate.
Tate apparently got mad there a moment ago, blew his cool because they bumped heads. It has been a very clean fight. Referee Cappuccino has had to do virtually nothing.
Past the halfway point of round 6. The fight is scheduled for 12.
Sibson standing right in front of his man.
And Sibson got him the left jab.
hard to out-jab a man who's got 6.5 inches of reach on you. That's 4 inches of reach. He shrunk 2 inches since the opening.
Coming to the end of round 6. Back with more of Frank Tate and Tony Sibson. On to round 7. Marv Albert with the fight doctor. Ferdy Pacheco. We're live on NBC Sports World from Staffordshire, England, 150 miles north of London.
Ken Squires in the corner saying over and over again, don't lose confidence. Just because you got hit, don't lose confidence.
Squires had some interesting things to say before the fight to Sibson. He said that he watched the Tate Elijah Day bout on tape, and he points out that Tate was moving to the right while Elijah Day was standing still trying to look like Michael Jackson. So, well, even Charlie Chaplin can knock you out if you stand still. And this time he believes that Tate will move to the left to avoid that left hook of Sibson.
And the guy that's standing still is Sibson, right in front of him. There's no movement whatsoever. He's like on a track right in front of him. I don't know where Charlie Chaplin is, but Frank Tate is having a little bit of difficulty in knocking out Tony Sibson.
Most telling blow of the bout in the 4th round when Tate was able to land a strong right hand. He did hurt Sibson. Sibson able to recover and able to hang on.
That was a rocky time for Sibson. It took him a round to recover from that kind of punch. But here he is, back again, fighting an even round in that last assault and keeping this fight close. It should be pointed out that although this crowd is extremely noisy for Tony Sibson, the judges are from the United States and should be unaffected by the crowd.
Just under a minute remaining in the 7th round. Tate with that right hand cocked.
Tate in a corner, almost inviting Sibson to come in. Looks like he's got some mayhem in mind, setting a trap for him. That's the first sloppy punch I've seen Frank Tate throw this fight. A long looping right that was meaningless.
And we're winding it down here in round 7. And this is round 8. What does the fight doctor scorecard tell us?
I have Tate by a whisper, 68-67.
Are you surprised that Tate has not been able to put Sibson away?
Yes, I am surprised, especially after the 4th round, where it seemed like if he mounted any kind of an attack in the 5th, he would have taken him with him. Sibson posting and trying to preserve his energy in the 5th, coming up with an even round in the 6th. But, as I said at the top of the show, this Tate is a very cool guy. He's patient.
Tate pointed out during the week the easy part sometimes can be winning the crown, the most difficult part, defending it. Frank Tate has is one of 3 reigning middleweight champions. The WBC champ is Thomas Hearns. The WBA middleweight champion, Sambu Kalambe.
Tate is showing some signs of weariness. His punches are not sharp. They almost became sloppy there for a few moments.
And Tate smiling at Sibson because despite the reaction from the crowd, he was not able to land. Just under a minute remaining, and round 8 scheduled for 12. According to IBF rules, fights are scheduled for 15. However, the British Boxing Board of Control refused to sanction anything beyond 12. The maximum distance for WBA and WBC fights is 12 rounds. And the British Boxing Board of Control threatened banning everyone taking part in this promotion, because it would have been unlicensed had they gone the 15 rounds. They're against the long distance on medical grounds. They feel a fighter is in more danger to be seriously hurt when he's tired in the later rounds. And the IBF relented. In the big picture, you have to wonder if that can be considered as a crumbling under the pressure. Most of the British media, usually quite supportive for their own, did not expect this bout to carry this long. We are on to round number 9. Tony Sibson in the blue and Frank Tate defending his IBF middleweight title in the red.
And once again, I think they ought to teach math to the people in the corner. The people in the corner said 3 more rounds. It's 4 more rounds. It's 9, 10, 11, and 12. That's discouraging when you come back to the corner and somebody tells you it's still 3 more rounds. The overall view of the last few rounds has been one of Tate appearing a little discouraged, certainly arm weary, not punching with authority. Sybil right there in his clumsy, sloppy manner of fighting.
And Sibson says, come on, let's have some more. That's Sibson's type of fight. Likes to bull his opponent.
That's exactly what Sibson wanted to do, get in a barroom fight. Sibson nose appears to be bothering him. There's a trickle of blood coming down from his nose, and his eye is getting swollen, his left eye. That jab has been working on Sibson's tissues. Certainly, Frank Tate is not exhibiting the confidence and flash of a champion who's in control. This fight is teeter-tottering between even and one ahead and then the other. Right now, I have it even.
And the crowd responds with Sibson able to land a combination.
And someone threw a Yorkshire pot pie right across and landed in my lap. Isn't good when it's on the plate.
Exchange, and Tate got the best of it with the combination.
Sibson in a little bit of trouble now. Not only weariness, but he got hurt. Sibson puffing. The exertion of this combat is getting to him.
The crowd urging the British favorite, one of the most popular sports figures here in Great Britain, Tony Sibson, on. Under a half minute to go in this 9th round.
A grueling battle by both boxers, with Tate beginning to take charge.
The fight moves on to a 10th.
Hey. Don't let anybody down, even yourself. Yourself is the main man. Don't let yourself down.
Come on, Tom. Another 2 good rounds.
Pull it out. Be smart.
A lot of work being done on Tony Sibson's eyes, and the exhortation of Ken Squires, don't let yourself down.
And this is round 10.
And now there truly is 3 rounds left to go.
Although Sibson was just told only 2 more rounds, Tony.
I'd like to be there when they get around to 1 more round, and then it's it. He's got to fight another one. A bonus round. And you begin to wonder at this point, those extra rounds, 13, 14, and 15, which denotes the championship causeway.
But because of the controversy, there will not be a 13, 14, and 15. This is scheduled for 12. That is if it goes that far.
And I have to say that's in Sibson's advantage, because he's certainly wearing out.
Another point of view, as we see Tony Sibson take Frank Tate to a 10th round, no matter what happens here. The fact that Sibson was able to go this long, and there are many who feel that he is a sharp fighter, does not say much for Frank Tate.
That's true. I think Sibson is summoning up a superhuman effort. He is right in his own backyard. He's got a huge crowd, but he's 29, and he's been in a lot of tough ring battles. And I think you can see the difference between the reflexes, the talent of the men right now. And now it gets to that indefinable determination, that guttiness to win the champion. Certainly Sibson is showing 100% guttiness and desire to win. Sibson hurt right now from a straight right hand. He came in, his legs did a number on him, but Tate did not appreciate the effect of his right hand.
Looks like Sibson's left eye is swelling up, maybe on the way to closing.
His nose has been troubling him. His eye has been closing up. He's more worried about it getting cut. He's got a huge laceration there that was sewed up. Tate back to crisp punching. Accurate, crisp punching. He got so sloppy there. Oh.
Cappuccino telling Tate to get back to the corner. We're final seconds of the round, and it's all over. Cappuccino calling the bout. So Frank Tate stopping Tony Sibson to successfully defend his IBF middleweight crown, and he did it late in the 10th round. Not too many felt that it would last this long, as Sibson is able to go to the 10th. And Tate continues the unbeaten record of now 22-0, 13 by knockout. The official time, 2:53, round 10. And that could be it for the 29-year-old Tony Sibson, who had said before the fight, even if he should win, should he pull off the upset, he might call it quits. There's the right hand by Tate that dropped Sibson. This the only knockdown of the fight. Tate did land a strong right hand back in the 4th round and then followed up with combinations, but could not take advantage. Sibson was able to last it out and was able to come back. But Frank Tate, in his first title defense, has stopped the British Commonwealth champion Tony Sibson at 2:53 of the 10th round. The 1984 Olympic gold medalist Frank Tate stopping the veteran Tony Sibson. And we'll be back to talk with the fighters right after these messages.